is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that? It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie. Welcome to the Wednesday podcast.
Hello.
Today we're talking WhatsApp groups.
What?
What is in that group?
I said what's in your group? What's in your group? You want to put it in my group? In my group. You want to put it in my group? In my group.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if anybody doesn't understand that reference. Just Google the what
You want to
song.
text it in my group? Okay.
I think that song is called In the Butt.
Samwell.
Samwell is it? Just for anybody that wants to do some
I
research
said
on it.
WhatsApp in my group.
I said WhatsApp in my group. I said WhatsApp in my group. You want to put it in my group? In my group.
Still going.
Is this the one that we're...
Yeah, this is the podcast.
redo, isn't it?
Here is a podcast
Can you
intro.
play
Tom.
the original, Jess?
Yeah, is it W-O-T?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Our search engine here, there's a lot of, it's a
I
lot of
got it.
complications.
Okay,
We got
Here
it.
we go.
I said what
In my
the butt.
group.
I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. You want to do it in my butt? In my butt. You want to do it in my butt? In my butt. You want to do it in my butt?
This one
This
also,
is good
this
because-
reeks of Fitzy.
Yeah.
Interest rates, they have cut. I said what? They have cut. 0.25 points, they have cut. You want to put it in my bank? I said what?
So you can use the song many ways. But Jess, thank you, because I didn't want people to listen to this and then have to work out what it meant by Googling it themselves.
Yeah, great idea. Not on a
safe
work
for
computer.
work. Let's move on. How do we end up on
It's
WhatsApp groups?
WhatsApp.
Yeah,
I
WhatsApp
said
groups.
WhatsApp.
In my group. If you've got a story about someone getting the wrong message in a WhatsApp group or being added to a group, then you might understand what the hell we're talking about. Enjoy the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about excursions, guys. If we got a bit of an opener, Jesse, or no, you don't. God, I wanted to fire things up. Get some
I can
music.
work on one for you.
Yeah,
Do you want
can
one
you-
this time tomorrow?
Can you put some music on? Because I want to take it to the next level. Because we got a phone call yesterday which changed everything when it comes to excursions. Chris called from Sydney Zoo. Have a listen.
I happen to work at Sydney Zoo at Eastern Creek. Why don't we put on the ultimate excursion for a school?
Yep.
We'll open up the doors. You can bring all the kids in, get them behind the scenes, meet the animals, go through our education program, throw an ice cream in their hands, get them a slushie,
beautiful.
and just give them a good day.
How many could you get through for a tour?
Oh, we could do 1,000.
Yeah. Oh, this is
wow.
massive.
That's
So
huge.
we could open this up to any school in Sydney.
Well said, Fitz. You put the pieces together. Oh, okay. Here we go. Now we got the music.
Oh, what a... Who sang...
Harry Belafonte.
It was too. Any relation to Stefan?
Yes, who married Mel B. grade or whatever. Okay, so from tomorrow, each day, we are going to have two teachers go head to head. Each of them will tell us what their specialty subject is, right? Then we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock, and whoever answers the most questions about their specialty subject will be the carryover champ. And they're going to make it through to the next day. On the final day, whoever wins will score an excursion to Sydney Zoo for their entire school.
Wow.
Like, shut the gates. There's nobody there. Everybody is at Sydney Zoo.
It's a lock-in.
It is a lock-in.
It's a school lock-in. You get the zoo to yourself.
And as Chris said, you get a slushie, you get an ice cream, get a capybara, take one of them home.
What is your specialty subject, though, if you're a teacher? This is the thing. I mean, if you're a PE teacher, it might be a local NRL team or something like that. But if you do have a specialty
What would
subject...
yours would be? Sport or bands?
Music, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy would
90s.
be hair product.
Oh, I was
Different
going to
hair
say
products?
like food. I quite like food.
Food, you
yeah.
both like food.
Yeah.
Maybe Tom, wine or from from the French region or something like that.
Champagne.
Cheeses would be good for you,
Actually,
Tom.
Yes.
You're right,
With
cheese.
a lot of your jokes. If you are a teacher, hit up the win page right now.
Whip, you'd be like,
Okay.
you'd be health and fitness or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it'd be fitness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or not doing any work. That's a specialty.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's an actual subject, Tom, but if it was to be, then I would be interested in having a look at it. Slobbery, it would be
Is there
called,
a
Tom.
slobbery?
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I had no idea about this, and maybe it's sometimes you never really think about it, never crosses your mind. But it's similar to asking the question, when I see something, what do you see, Fitz? Are you seeing the same colours? Are you seeing the same image?
It's a buffet.
Huh?
And you can go up there and you can eat whatever you
No,
want.
I'm not pointing anything in particular. But like when you look at Jess, right, behind the panel there, She looks so great, but you might see something different.
What do you mean, colour-wise? I mean,
Yeah, colour-wise and the image. So your experience might be different to mine because I see it slightly different.
we're not dogs. It's not like we look at different shapes and stuff, are we?
I don't know, but this extends into this fascinating
Are you
article.
talking about colour blindness?
No, I'm not talking about colour blindness. I'm just talking about whether we see the same thing. Like, when I look at Jess, is my experience the same as what your experience is? Like, I
yeah,
don't know.
is it Fitz? What do you say?
But what are your...
Well, visually, it has to be exactly the same.
Well,
doesn't
it doesn't, because you might see the colour of her skin differently. You might see, I don't know, her T-shirt colour differently.
I don't. What? Yeah. Okay.
Because this leads into the story about people and their internal voices, saying that when you read something in your head, majority of people hear a voice. So if you're lying in bed and you're reading a book, then you're actually hearing the words. What's interesting is they say that around 80% of people hear their own voice when they're reading the words. Some people don't hear a voice, but they absorb the words.
Right.
Other people hear friends close to them voices. So you could be sitting in bed reading a book and it would be like you can hear Tommy's voice, like he's reading to you.
That's
which would
gross.
scare the hell out of me
That'd
if
be
I'm
wonderful.
reading 50 Shades of
Yeah.
Grey and all I can hear is Tom's voice as she slowly undresses and
How
takes off
s-
her bra.
How soft and reassuring for everyone.
It's not what we're looking for.
Can you select voices?
Wouldn't that be good? Like you'd get a Maggie Dent voice or something like that.
It's amazing what the brain can tell you to do. I've got a mate who played football and he had to give football up because of back problems.
Yep.
And he went and got he went to a back specialist who said we can't really find anything wrong with your back. Got a second opinion. Like I'm talking about the worst possible pain. This
Right.
poor bugger couldn't move and then his footy career was over, but no one could pinpoint what was wrong with his back. And then a doctor sort of diagnosed and said that it's all in your mind.
Maybe it's in your head.
And people do. There are a lot of these cases where people can, the mind can take over and tell that you have a problem with your body,
mate-
and you actually don't.
A mate of mine took his kid to the doctor the other day because his kid had a bit of pain in his leg. Anyway, the doctor said to my mate, can you just step outside and we'll have a chat for a moment? And he said, having had a look at your son, I would ask the question, is there anything going on at home that we need to talk about? So he's basically saying there's nothing wrong. Everything's okay, but your child is upset for some reason. Like, that would be a hard chat to have.
That is hard.
Because you know what's even harder with kids? Like, Jack gets into bed every night and something's wrong. They don't want to go to bed is why they're delaying and something's wrong or they want their head patted or their back scratched or something like that. But there's a broken shoulder. My eyes are gone. My eyes are dying. My stomach hurts.
My old man's getting like, as you get older in life as well, the hypochondriac comes out and it's just anything is just like,
Oh, no.
yeah.
This is it.
And to the point now where mum says, like, dad goes to the doctor like every couple of months
Does
to
he?
get a full blood test. He's worried that. He's so worried, and he's trying to get mum to do it all the time as well because he's so scared that she's going to leave him before he goes.
Oh, God.
She's like, I just went and saw the doctors a couple of months ago. I'm fine.
And how many times can your mum say to him, Mick, just have another Bacardi in the vibrating chair?
He needs a dinner. Oh,
What happened?
No,
What's he done?
The massage chair is an absolute joke at the moment. It looks like
Well, he's worn it out, has he?
it looks like it's horrible.
Hasn't spilled his Bacardi.
I need to get him one, Tommy. It's his 80th birthday this year.
Oh, mate, update the massage chair for Mick.
Poor Mick.
Mick's massage chair, massage parlour.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What an absolute stuff up this was. The head of national security, excuse me, in the US, accidentally added a journo to a very private security WhatsApp group.
Oh, no.
How do you do this? So there's a bloke by the name of Goldberg, and he works at The Atlantic. And he was added to the security brief where they go back and forth on topics like the Middle East. And this guy's been added to the group. This has been described as amateur hour. And the head of national security should be booted out. Some thought it might have been a prank. And then all of a sudden someone said, get the F out.
Taking the head of national security as Donald Trump comes in as president, pretty big role.
Massive role.
Because there's no other countries that dislike Donald Trump and sort of want to have a crack at your country, is there?
I'd love to be added to a group like this where you sat there quietly hoping no one realises that you were on it and you could just read the back and forth. Ash, when this story broke, have we got an update on whether the head of national security has been stood down after this blunder?
No, so we've seen some of the top Trump officials front the US Senate for a bit of a please explain. They're going with the angle that there was no classified war plans discussed in the group, that it was just a general discussion about some of the targets. We heard from the National Intelligence Director, Tulsi Gabbard, yesterday.
Was there any mention of a target in Yemen?
I don't remember mention of specific targets.
So a lot of, I don't remember, I don't recall.
There could have been. Look, I wasn't there. I mean, there's 20 chat groups running. This happened with us. I mean, on a lighter note, this happened with us for a surprise 40th that was happening, and the person having the birthday was added to the group. You idiot. You idiot. You've blown it.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about Reggie Rabbit.
Oh, poor Reg. Who's the 81-year-old that's in there? Is it Charlie?
Charlie, yeah, Gallico. Mate, he's done this forever. And you're right, Fitz, when this story broke that he pushed a kid at Shark Park after an alteration, he felt like he was
Alteration?
I always get that wrong. An altercation. His pants taken up.
These are not high enough, I told you.
I want ankle freezers. Now take my pants up. And then an altercation took place. So it suggested this little kid pushed him and said he was going for the high five and Charlie blew up. This was a huge story.
Can I just say, if you're 81 and you've been Reggie the Rabbit for so long, if you've only pushed one kid in the face, that is an amazing effort.
I felt a bit sorry for him because everybody piled on, and he does it because he loves the Rabbitohs and he loves footy and he loves getting involved. He then had to put out a formal apology after sitting down with the Rabbitohs. So he said, I'd like to apologise to young Benji and his parents. My actions were wrong. I should never have pushed Benji. He goes on to say, I will do everything I can to represent South Sydney in the best way possible from now on. Nothing like this will ever happen again.
Yeah, it's tough. Do you know, well, even Albo came out and said that he knows Charlie quite well.
Oh, does he?
And said, no, well, Charlie, he stuck up for Charlie.
He didn't push Charlie, did he?
No. It was a young Bulldog supporter as well. I mean, there's without a doubt he would have been hounding Reggie.
And it was Benji was the kid, and all his mates were apparently lining up for a high five. It would have been, there's the mascot, get him. Anyway, he's been cleared by the Rabbitohs. He's been cleared by the NRL. He can be there in the bunny suit on Thursday night against the Panthers. It's page 15 of the paper.
Yep.
I didn't know what to do. Read the Reggie story or look at Dua Lipa going to the zoo yesterday. Yeah. These are the big issues we have.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Guys, this topic we want to talk about now is to do with dogs and some of the dangers around it. Some of the stories are confronting, so I wanted to give you a warning if you've got kids in the car. It could be quite confronting.
Do you know what? It's a good one to talk about because anyone who's been attacked by a dog before, what do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Because I don't think you really realise until it's starting to happen, what do I do and what's my next plan of attack? Because I've got no idea what to do here.
It's bloody scary. There was a story that came out yesterday about a hero son who saved his dad when two pit bulls attacked him. This was unbelievable. A driver unloading a pack of 6 dogs, including 2 pit bull terriers, made a beeline for this guy. The son jumped into the car, and then the dad was attacked. And the only thing that saved him and where most of the damage was done was on his arm, because he wrapped his arm around his neck so that the dog couldn't get to his neck. So by the time he'd had 3 hours of operations where they have to open all the wounds to clean them out, they operated on his shin, his lower and upper legs, his knee joint, his buttocks, his right upper arm, which was protecting his throat and face. So the son came out of the car and saved his dad's life because it was not looking good. And in court at the moment, we were reminded of a story that took place around a year ago where a woman was mauled by two out-of-control dogs, Irish wolfhounds. If you remember this story, she was sinking in the mud fits and she had a Jack Russell, and she thought she was going to die because the tide was coming in. She was literally sinking in the mud, and these dogs attacked her as she was trying to rescue, and the dog ended up passing away. But she thought she was also going to be killed by the attack that took place.
Well, the other one as well, our head of programming here at Smooth, Pete Clay, came in and told us this story the other day, and it just absolutely blew our mind. So, Pete, you were walking two dogs, one
Two
dog?
dogs.
Two
yeah.
dogs, yes.
Two beagles, 6-year-old beagles.
And this was out of nowhere. You had two dogs come out of nowhere and you knew straight away that they are coming for me or for my dogs.
So basically, I got halfway down this road, about 150 metres away from the corner, saw two dogs round the corner, and I thought they were with someone. It just was unremarkable. Just two dogs walk in the corner.
Yep.
I then crossed to the opposite side of the road because I don't want to be on the same side as them with my two dogs.
What sort of dogs, Pete?
I've got beagles.
Yeah,
they
these.
were American Staffordshire Bull Terriers.
So they were big dogs, muscles. You're thinking, oh, I'm on here.
You know what? You don't notice at that stage. I got halfway across the road, saw out of my peripheral right-hand vision just these dogs darting between cars and running towards
Not
me.
on leads.
Not on leads, no sound. No barking, nothing. They were just making a beeline. So I quickly looked around at what I could do with my dogs, and I saw a box trailer because there was no enclosed yards at any
Couldn't
of the
throw
houses.
them over a fence.
That's what I would have done.
Right. So you were going to throw your dogs over a fence.
You
so
bet.
that, yeah, okay.
Put separation because, most people try and hold their dogs up. And while your dogs are wiggling and everything, these dogs will just jump. And it actually jumped up on me anyway to get my female beagle off the box trailer. They both came round either side of the trailer. They were literally in attack mode. And one jumped up on me, grabbed my female beagle and ripped it down by the hind and just bit into it. And she was squealing. Then the second one ran round and went for my male beagle's head, which it missed. It got the lead and pulled Cutlets down to the ground where his legs collapsed underneath him and he hit the asphalt and it went for a bite for the head. I just had thongs on and I kicked it and it startled it. It went back. I kicked it in the head. It startled it. It moved back and then I went to town on the one attacking Celery, my dog. Female beagle.
Wow.
And, all you can do is try and hit.
Are you yelling out, Pete, to try to get people's attention on the street?
The dogs were squealing, right, because so residents were coming out and I'm saying to them, I'm yelling at the same time going, call the police, and I'm hitting this dog. But if you had a piece of meat on the side and you hit it, it doesn't move, it just slightly compacts. That's what these dogs' heads were like.
So
it was
strong.
the size of a dinner plate.
Wow.
And so I'm hitting. I then actually did some graphic things which involved putting my finger into its eye socket and twisting its ear. It let go of Celery a tiny bit. I pushed Celery forward. It then went back down on its tail and Celery's still squealing. There's blood everywhere at this stage. The second dog's still standing back.
Yeah.
And then I went to town on it again and did as much. People are all
Was it trying to bite you?
Not at this stage.
No.
It had locked down. So it's committed to that dog. It's not opening its jaw. So
Still on the dog?
Yeah. So I then went to town on again. It released. I pushed Celery away. It then went for my face. I went to block with my left hand. It bit down on my hand and I could hear the sound that you hear when you break a chicken wing, and it was my bones just breaking.
So you did break your hand.
Been operated on.
I've got a plate and 6 screws in there.
Yep.
So, Pete, where's the owner of these dogs at this stage?
I thought they may have been walk-in, but police have done an investigation with CCTV from shops, and the council also have CCTV of the whole attack. It wasn't the owner with them. The owners were at home and just didn't have them secured properly, and they got out and they were just searching the neighbourhood at 6:55 a.m. in the morning.
So what have they done with these dogs?
They're back with the owners. They put classifications on them. Legislation doesn't allow them to destroy animals anymore, which, I'm a dog lover. So, but I know in this scenario, if my godson had have been actually walking the dogs, this would be a different conversation. right now because they, you know, the way I describe it, if you go fishing, you pull up a big fish, you put it up for the photo, it wiggles, you can't stop the wiggle. The muscle of a barracuda or something makes your hands go. This dog was just solid muscle. Like, you cannot...
No.
How
you know,
intimidating.
you cannot go against this dog.
I heard that you have to grab them by their hind legs because they get a lot of power from their hind legs. So if you can take them off the ground, they can't use the force to actually go in and bite more.
What have you learned?
The thing I would say with that is definitely been brought up with me, but, you know, in the attacking moment, that would have given that dog a chance to get to my dog's throat, and that would have been over. Okay. Even a bite to the head, they penetrate the skull. What I would say to you at this point is avoidance. You know, if you can get them over a fence. Katrina Warren let me know if it's bin night, put your dogs in a bin. Yeah. You just want that separation. Do not just hold them up.
No,
like, try and put them on top of a car, on any object to separate it.
Any other advice on how you're meant to get a dog off another dog? Like, well, if it's not the hind legs, do you rip their tail? Do you...
No, I think some of the things I luckily did worked, but one of the things that people say is if it's got a collar on it, turn around, pick it up by the collar and twist. So you start asphyxiating the actual dog.
Oh, right, you take it. Yeah, right.
So
chokehold.
You basically, I went for the chokehold, but my face was too close to the dog.
Right.
So never, that was a mistake of mine because I thought, I'm going to get bitten in the face here. It's because you're right down next to it.
Yeah.
So grab the collar, lift up and twist. Yeah.
Jesus, Pete. So what's the ramifications now? Is there legal action?
They get fines. Council, Georges River Council been excellent. They've kept me but they can't actually give me any of the details because of the Privacy Act. So they have been issued infringements. The dogs have conditions on them. If they then, don't adhere to those conditions, the dogs will be seized and then potentially
And
destroyed.
how are your dogs?
Cutlets is good. Celery is had 12 puncture wounds and still... I haven't taken them out for a walk, to be honest. They've got a backyard. They can walk around there, but, we'll deal with that when that time comes. But, yeah.
And a couple of blokes that do a few dodgy things. So will these guys end up with a horse head in their bed, Pete?
No, Pete.
Concrete gumboots?
You've also seen Richard Wilkins running at you like that at the Smooth Christmas party, haven't you? And you could see him coming from a distance. Yeah.
Similar head size.
You couldn't get him off, could you?
No. He's got a big mane.
When he attacked, he was...
Cameron Daddo as well. I mean, you just got to choke hold him if you can. Yeah.
Mel Doyle came in to try and settle things down, but it was too late.
David Campbell.
Oh my God, he broke into a Christmas song.
We thought we had to talk because I think a majority of people haven't been in this situation before. I mean, you're obviously making stuff up as you go, but I'd maybe we get an expert on, Tommy, to do in this situation.
Yeah.
But Pete, like you said, you got to try to get separation from your dog from those dogs.
It is totally different when you have two dogs attacking as well.
Yeah.
I had two dogs. There were two dogs attacking. It changes everything because, I've got a lot of friends that do have similar dogs and they said, I'm lucky to survive this because when two dogs go round separate ways around the box trailer and attack, they literally try and rip
Scares
you
the hell
apart.
out of me.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I like her, but she's no good in bed. I like him, but he's got an ugly head. Should we go or should we stay with them? Make a list of pros and cons.
Can we go to Yasmin in Clontarf? Hi, Yaz.
Good morning, how are you?
Pretty good, Yazzie.
There was a television show that never worked called Yasmin's Getting Married. Could you be getting married? What's his name, Yaz?
Potentially. His name is Joey.
Joey. Great name. What do you love about Joey?
Oh, he's the best. He's very patient and good with kids.
Yep.
He's funny. He gives really awesome back massages. I think because
really?
I think because he's Thai.
Because he's what?
He's Thai.
Thai.
The
Sure.
How good Thai massage for me eclipses everything else.
Better than a Swedish massage?
Does he get in with the elbows as well, Yaz, into the shoulder blades?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yaz, is he heavy on the oils as well?
Actually, I haven't had one with oil before. Maybe I should suggest that.
He gave one to me. Joey's very good with the oils.
Okay. Anything else that you want to chuck into the pros before we get into the cons?
Yeah, probably a good idea to chuck something in. He's a good dancer. He's very coordinated.
Is there a certain type of genre that he dances like?
He can honestly do like any dance. It's quite impressive.
Like he can pop a few hip hop moves and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah, get down and do the worm.
Yes, you ripped through the pros fairly quickly, which makes me feel like you want to move on to the cons. What are they?
Okay, the first one is pretty recent. So he just got a new car, and he called his car Harriet, and he speaks to it like it's a real person.
Right. Why has he gone a female name? Is it like a sort of a female car or?
I don't know. It's red. Maybe is that why?
Okay,
I don't know.
so
But like the other night, he was like dropping me off, and then he's just like, "Oh, who's a good girl? Harriet's a good girl." And I was like, "Okay, cool, I'm here."
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so good masseuse, great dancer, and has a female car that he talks to.
Other cons you got? Yes.
He used to walk to work barefoot, and like my friend saw him walking barefoot and was like, "Does he just not own shoes?"
I'm out. Did you want to marry a Thai gypsy?
He's a drifter.
But he thinks it like makes his feet stronger.
Oh, yeah, and it does. You know what? That's the thing. In summer, when you're down the beach and that, your feet do get stronger if you're walking along the road.
Yes, they
Yeah, I think so. I haven't tried it out myself, but
Okay, so all right,
gypsy man,
good with kids, back massages, great dancer,
and he's a gypsy.
Harriet's his car.
What else?
Any other cons?
He's pretty. I will say he's pretty good with like not being a picky eater. But he doesn't eat onion, and I'm Indian, which is not very helpful because it's in like every curry dish.
You can't. You've got to have onion in every dish.
Yeah,
It's
and then the only other thing that he's picky on is he doesn't really like beer. So he'll like go to the pub with his friends and they'll order a beer and he'll be like sitting there sipping like an Aperol or a spicy marg or something.
Well, I'll jump in there. I called him a gypsy, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with a real man having an Aperol spritz.
Yeah.
It's a bit icky sometimes.
No, it's not.
And it also makes it expensive.
Yes. Do you like that he is a bit of a drifter like that he can just wear no shoes
different.
and walk? I actually love that about him. You know, I've never met him in my life, but I love him so much.
Does he
I'm so
like
glad.
your cooking? Like, do you cook much?
I'm a pretty hopeless cook, but he's pretty good.
Okay.
I'll give him that.
Yasmin, how long has this relationship gone for?
Like nearly 3 years.
3 years.
God.
Stick with it. I'm saying stick with it. Yes. Oh, yes. The only way is up.
He's walking to work with no shoes on. And then talking to his female car, and you think she should stick with it?
Yeah.
You sicko.
Yeah, but she's got an elbow in her shoulder blade and releasing all that tension.
I don't know about this. We're torn on it.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hey, Fitz, fashion. Let's chat. Fashion. Get some cameras, some lights, Jess. Let's fire it up in here. Because a while ago, Fitz, if you remember, I spoke about a silent war, and no one is talking about it. And it's the size of the heel on running shoes.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Sass versus Bide or
No.
Rod versus Gun.
Or Scanlon versus Theodore. No, it's not that war. It's the fashion war of the stacked heel. And it's huge. So you would say since Hoka came on the market, they came in with really bulky shoes.
Well, no, there was. Can I just say, it was Hoka weren't the ones that changed the way. It was like Nike and Adidas were doing this ages ago.
They were doing the massive heel?
Yeah,
Are you
well,
serious?
I think Nike kicked it off, and remember, then they banned it from marathon competitions because it was an unfair advantage.
Yeah, but if you look at the Alpha Flies now and the Nikes, they're huge. Like, that's like running on a sponge. You saw a video of me the other day trying them on at Nike, and you said, please don't get those things with the flames on them. And I'm going to go back and get them. And then I thought to myself, why is no one talking about this silent war that's going on? And what if I wanted to enter the market with my own padded shoe? I mean, how hard could it be to enter this fashion game? So
Don't tell me. You were going to go down to a local rubber store here in Sydney. What was it called? Don't tell me you've done. Are you serious?
So, I mean, look, that's the Puma Nitro. Look how big that one is.
Yeah, is that Ned Brockman's shoe?
Yeah.
Yep.
So what I did, I went down to the foam booth, Fitz,
Oh, my gosh.
and said to them, hey, look, I need a bit of foam here. I should have foamed ahead. And I decided to make my own, what I've decided to call the Nike 9 Stack, Fitz, where you'll see on my shoes now, I've got...
Oh, my God. What have you done?
I've stuck 9 layers of foam rubber to my shoes.
Let's see let's see if you're near my height.
Okay, so we're the same height
because
now?
you actually got custom-made stack shoes before, and then was so embarrassed by them you threw them out.
Oh my God, it's awesome being up here.
I know. Welcome.
Are we close to the same height?
Welcome to the real world.
So I had to cut every layer of foam out. Whoa! See, the stable. Do not push me like that. I feel like I'm on stilts. I'm on rubber stilts, and I want to go down to Hoka and win this silent war and let them know that this is the largest platform running shoe on the market.
Yeah.
Well done, Whip.
Yeah, Ash. I think Ash is in shock, being a big sports running
Ash,
fan herself.
You do triathlons. Have you ever seen this level of support in a shoe?
I mean, the 40 millimetre stack height has been banned, so I don't know what they're going to do with those. They'll put you in prison for that.
Did they actually ban the 40 mil?
Yeah, they did.
What? So all competition shoes are under 40 mil? Illegal. Now, when you were talking about...
It's unfair. It's an unfair advantage, isn't it, Ash?
Well, yeah, it's got to do, like with the advantage that you get. So I know Ironman has banned the Nova Blast for 2025 comp.
Have
so,
they?
I mean...
Yeah, because you know where? You know where you're going to see these, mate?
You'll fall over,
City
mate.
to Surf.
Oh, yeah.
The Nike 9 stack.
Got you.
9
Can
layers
you wear
of rubber.
Wear it. Let's get some red rubber or something. So you're representing Nova.
Okay, we can
at
paint
the City
them.
to Surf.
We can paint them red. I'm not taking any orders at this stage,
mate.
So production's on hold because it actually took me a week to make these. Outside of my wife was like, "What have I married here?" There's a guy cutting up rubber and gluing it to the bottom of his shoes on
Can
his
I
weekend.
just say as well? Finally, how old are you, mate? You're 45.
Yeah.
46.
Yeah.
You finally got to 6 foot.
Yeah, well done, Webb.
Mate, I went from 5'11 to 6'6", and it feels good. You can check it out on our social media. Let me know if you'd like a pair, and I will drop into Hoka today and let them know there's a new wheel on the market.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.